Does the Secretary of State agree that in a way her statement confirms what was the case all along, namely that these letters were not get-out-of-jail-free cards, that they confirmed what the police and the law officers assessed at the time, that these people were not wanted, wrongly in the case of Downey, absolutely and quite rightly an apology is due for that, but they didn't preclude prosecutions in the future should evidence come to light. I realise this gives deep offence to victims and to my unionist friends, but they were essential building blocks to get the peace settlement to drag Northern Ireland away from the horror and the evil and terror of the past. And it would be very, very dangerous and toxic to somehow retrospectively rescind those letters. And I know the Secretary of State is not doing that. She's simply she's confirming their legal status, or lack of. But I just caution people on that, because that was part of getting us from the horror of the past to the peace and stability which we now enjoy.
I agree with the Right Honourable Member that my statement today is consistent with how the scheme was always intended to operate. So it was always intended to be a scheme to establish whether an individual was wanted or not. It was not a scheme that was intended to provide an amnesty. It was not a scheme to provide assurance to those who were wanted that they were not wanted. And I think it is also very clear from the Hallett report that John Downey should never have received a letter. The scheme properly administered would have ensured that no such letter was issued. And it was that very serious error that led to the result in the Downey case. In terms of the legal effect of today's announcement, as I've said, I don't believe the word rescind or revoke is appropriate in this case. I think it is much better to stick to the facts that these letters should no longer be relied on. Because of the systemic flaws in the scheme, it may well be that further errors were made. Decisions on prosecution in relation to recipients of letters will be taken in exactly the same way that they are in relation to every other member of the public. If there's evidence or intelligence to justify arrest, then that's what will happen.